goodness. My goodness. Okay. We're live, y'all, but hold on. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the live stream, please. For some reason, my audio just went wonky when I plugged in my mic. Put a 1 if you can hear me. Okay. I need to see some ones. Hey, IG, I am live right now on YouTube. The link is in the bio. It is Friday night, so you know it's a hot topic. And tonight we are talking about when your child hates homeschooling. Let's go find out what we can do to fix that problem. All right. Come on over to YouTube. YouTube channel is Homeschool Knockouts. Come on over. Link in the bio. Meet us there. Oh my goodness. That wasn't even on. Okay, great. Because it's so quiet. I couldn't even hear the intro music, so I just cut it. All right, great. Okay, so apparently I wasn't live on IG when I just gave that message. So I'll just be eyeballing that to let them know. All right, guys, we are here. You know how we do when you come on in. Let us know where in the universe you are coming from. You don't have to be specific. You can give your side of the universe, your side of the hemisphere, your side of the state, the country, all of that. But we do that so other people in the chat can see if there is someone close to them, and then you can start building your tribe. So, hey, YouTube, hey, IG, I'm over on YouTube. So mosey on over. The link is in the bio. It is Friday night, so we're doing hot topics. Hot topic tonight is when your child hates homeschooling. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to come with solutions. So meet us over there, all right? That goes for you, Lori, Official Katie, all of y'all. Come on over to YouTube. That is Homeschool Knockouts. We will see you there. Peace. Okay, sorry about that, guys. You know I'm messy. I do things messy, but it gets done. And it gets done. All right, come on. All right, make sure that's turned off. All right, phone down. Woo! All right. So, who do we have here tonight? Let's give little shout outs to Crystal. Oh, y'all piling in tonight. This must be a messy topic for some of y'all. Hey, Crystal from Washington State. Anya, my Cali sister. We got Dan. That's a new name. Welcome, Dan. Lillian, Mari, Paige from the big state of Texas, where everything's big in Texas. Mari, yep, California. I think there's like 4 or 5 of us from California. Nessa, shout out to my big sis. Dan says, such amazing ideas. Hello from Pennsylvania. Hey, that's where a lot of my family's from, the big PA. We got New Jersey in the house. Y'all cold, huh? Y'all got all that snow. Are y'all still stuck in the house from the snow? And we got Canada. I know y'all got snow up there in Canada. And shout out to the truckers doing what they need to be doing and taking a stand. You definitely have my support up there in Canada. You know how people always rip on Canada? You're too nice and you're too and just neutral. You guys are G's right now. So I salute to you guys. All right. So we're going to jump right into this because I don't want this to be a long video. You know, I'm lying when I say that because it always goes into an hour and a half to 2 hours. Listen, you know what we like to do? We like to start with a win. Okay. You put a win up, I'll shake the bell to acknowledge your win. And I do this just so you can realize the things in your life that are wins. When you start realizing those wins, you'll start to look at your day differently. You'll see people put things up that you wouldn't think was a win, but it actually is a win. And you might realize, oh, wait a minute, I've been winning. Okay. So it's a way to just acknowledge, to be more mindful, have that executive functioning, metacognition. We're going to talk about that today, to have all of that awareness so we can act on it. Okay. And a lot of times just having that awareness is really half the battle. Okay. DIY homeschool. Georgia's in the house. Georgia. All right. Canada went and saved the world. You know what? I'm going to have to agree with you on that one, Crystal. They are really putting in the work. And if you guys have not donated, don't do GoFundMe because you know the shenanigans going on there. There is another site you can go to. If someone knows it, you can put it in the chat. I think it's Go Send Something. But there's another way to help support the truckers and freedom, if you will. All right, so let's jump in here because I've done a lot of consultations. I've been around a lot of homeschooling families of all different stripes. And the one thing that is common amongst all of these families is there is a point in time when your child is resisting homeschooling. Oh, let me just back it up because I see some new faces in here. Hey guys, I'm Nikki with Homeschool Knockouts, and this is a channel where I try to give out homeschooling advice and motivation and tips and tutorials and all kinds of good stuff. So this is your first time here, welcome. We appreciate you, and you are definitely welcome. No question is too elementary. There are no dumb questions here. If you need help, you have wonderings or thoughts, put them out here. A lot of times my chat, they are the bomb diggity, okay? They can give you lots of solutions, okay? So don't just look to me. I'm just one person. You have a gold mine of people in the chat right now. So don't be afraid. I'm going to have to mod some of you guys. Don't be afraid to ask the chat for any suggestions if I'm not getting to your question, okay? All right. We got Anya. She's first. All right, Anya, what you got? My win. My little guy is starting to read and is so proud of himself. That's a win. Dang, y'all gotta remind me. I keep forgetting my big pink cowbell. Anya, that's actually a double win because one, he's starting to read, which is huge. And two, he has that internal motivation now. He is proud of himself. So A+ to you, mama, for getting that win. That's a win for you and your child. So that is huge. Anyone else with a win? Hey, 3AK Homeschool. And can I mod people from here? I don't see the option when I'm in StreamYard. I might have to do it on the back end in YouTube. Hey, the Blue School. Hello from Earth. That's right, baby. Hello from the third rock from the sun. I got a donation. Thank you. Keep knocking it out. Your information is great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Anessa. I appreciate that. Okay, look, I have a new rule now. I need 3 wins before I start the topic, okay? So Anya started us off with the first win. Oh, I have a win, but I don't count. Okay, I'm a shadow win. So we still need 2 more wins. Okay, so it's not homeschooling related, although I do have one homeschooling related, but I'm gonna just tell you the recent one. So you guys know I garden, and I've run out of pots, but I don't want to spend money on pots. So my youngest son and I are on a cleanse. We are on a juice cleanse. We are 2 weeks into the cleanse, and I'm so proud of him. That's going to be, I might have to do a little vlog on that. But anyway, so we have to drink distilled water. So I have all these 1-gallon bottles of distilled water, and we actually go through 2, sometimes more a day. And I'm like, oh, I just can't throw this in the recycler. I got to do something with this. So I started using incense to burn holes in it, because when I was using scissors on some of these, it was just taking too long to get the holes in. So, when you put a plant inside, the plant container needs holes so the water can drain, and so little wormies can climb up in there and help aerate your soil. And so they're like, hey, well, let's just solder it. So now they've only soldered like one time. My oldest son did a woodworking class and something else, so he did that. But the other 2, I ain't never done it. So my husband pulled out his old set with the dust on it, and I'll probably be the one learning how to solder. But it's actually quite easy. You just take the little dagger looking thing, and you burn a hole. So now I have drainage holes for all of my these are 3, all of my my water bottles. So that was a nice little project with the kids. Oops, Lord, whatever. So all right, I need 2 more wins before we get started, okay? Let me see. Hey, Muna. It's good seeing you. You're always a pleasant face in the place. Okay. Hey, L. I don't know if you want me to say your name anymore, so I'm going to say L. My win with my daughter is reading short paragraphs and narrating to me. Yes, and I know your story. That is a huge win. Listen, when you guys are looking at these wins, you're looking at you're looking at small steps, which is going to be part of what we're talking about today. You're looking at baby steps, okay? Because baby steps, small steps are steps that are manageable, they're consistent, and they're easy to do, which is part of the recipe for being successful, okay? I need one more win. Who's going to come after my daughter's beautiful mind? Okay. Wait a minute, is this a win? 3A says, finish sorting through all of our curriculum for what works and doesn't, and on the hunt for sales for the next year's curriculum. Oh, you're trying to be prepared. That's a win. We're going to take that as a win. As a win. So guys, so there you go. Those are 3 wins. Feel free to throw a win throughout the live if you feel compelled to, and just to share it. And acknowledge your success. Part of the battle is just stop keeping everything a secret. Acknowledge what you do and what your children are doing. Okay, believe me, toot your own horn sometimes. Now let's get started with our topic, which is row. My child hates homeschooling. I've been through this 3 different times with 3 different kids. A lot of y'all have been through that. If you have had struggles with your child hating homeschooling, please put a 1 in the chat. And I mean seriously, because I want people to see they are not alone. Put a 1 in the chat right now. Put a 1 in the chat if at any point in your homeschooling journey you have had issues, you've knocked heads with your child. Maybe they're resistant to writing. Maybe they can't stand math. When you pull out the writing curriculum, they just fall apart into tears. All that is them saying, I don't like this. I don't want to do this. Okay. Put a 1 in. Let me put a 1 in. Did I go through? Yes. You see, look, y'all, look at these ones. A lot of people are going through this. Okay. Now, what I'm going to say for the solutions might surprise you, but I want you to stick with me, okay? I want you to stick with me. But look at all these 1s in here, okay? Look at all these 1s. Now, a couple of scenarios. I just gave you some. What is resistance, okay? Now, it doesn't always have to be your child screaming and yelling and saying whatever. It doesn't have to be them being negative. It could be them just kind of shutting down when you're teaching them, or just kind of doing it, but they're bored, and there's no joy. You don't know if they've really retained what you've taught them. That in and of itself is a refusal. Okay, so for instance, you could teach them adding fractions. I always do fraction examples. I need to get new examples. You can teach them one day adding and subtracting fractions, and you spend however long you spend teaching them that, and you did it the whole week. And then maybe on Friday, maybe you give assessments, or maybe you just want to see if they're retaining what they've learned, and they cannot even remember the first step. It's almost like you didn't teach them the whole time. Okay, they could have just tuned out, but you didn't notice it. They kind of just tuned out in their mind. So there are like stealth ways your child might refuse or not want to participate in homeschooling. So I just want you to see all the different variations. It doesn't have to be something negative and friction. It could be very passive. Okay, I'm including that in the bowl of issues. Okay, so this is what we want to do. These are oh, hold on. Oh, y'all got all kinds of things to say. We unschool now, and she loves it now. Yes. Okay. That's going to be one of the things that I talk about shaking things up. So simple life, homilies. Hey, that's an interesting name. I like that. It's nice to know. Yes, the blue school. That's why I wanted you guys to put a 1 in, because it's just like in life. You think the people you see on TV, or the people in your neighborhood or at your church, you think they have it all together. They have the nice car, they go on vacations, kids in private school, wife is always making the dinners for the you think they have it all together, and then something happens and you pull that curtain back a la Wizard of Oz, and you see, oh, your husband chased skirts. You, the mama, pop PILL, because YouTube, your kids fight, they like beat up each other. And here you are feeling insecure about your home situation, and they are a hot mess times five. So, believe me, in the homeschool, you see people, they always seem to have the right curriculum or they have all the right classes. Oh, my child doesn't really do that. Those people are rare and they're a unicorn. And if I see a parent who's trying to act all perfect or whatever, I'm just going to assume it is doomsday zombie apocalypse in your house. Oh, my house is always clean. I mean, like, you're always in the house. Why wouldn't your house be clean? Heifer. That's why your house is messy, because you're always in your house. I've seen people who are like that, and they're not real. They're Stepford wives. They're not real. So don't feel bad about your situation. Honey, if you saw how I got down, you'd be like, girl, I don't know if you should be giving advice on YouTube about homeschooling. But you know what? By any means necessary. So I just want y'all to know you are not alone. Okay. Okay. Let me see. What does Dan have to say? My kids love homeschooling in general, but they hate certain topics or subjects. This might be a long live, y'all. Okay. From example, my older hates writing essays. My middle hates reading, but loves math. Okay. So you got that gumbo mix, Dan. Each child has their own little quirk, and you got to address those quirks, and hoping that by addressing that, it doesn't overturn the apple cart for the other things. It's a fine balance with each of your children. We're going to get to that. Mona, that is my life. I had to send my boys back to school this year. You know what, Mona, I'm going to give you a win for that. Because what I just said earlier about watching the Joneses and thinking they all have it together when they ain't got it together. Some people feel if they send their kids back to public school, they're a failure. I mean, I don't feel that way, but my oldest kid, is in public school. He's a freshman in public school. And truth be told, let me sidebar really quickly. Is this mic working? I don't even know. Today, this week, he's running track. I thought I was done with sports for the rest of the year. He finished football, he finished wrestling. He had an amazing football year, and at the football banquet, he won their most prestigious award. It was a leadership award for just revving up the team and being consistent and going so far beyond what the coaches wanted. I was actually quite really proud. I'm like, that's me with all my little David Goggins and EJ, the hip hop preacher. I mean, I have footage of him in the huddle. He's standing up there. He's pumping them up, and I'm like, oh my God, this is the same child when he played basketball. Just 3 years ago, if they didn't pass him the ball, he would literally pout on the court. He was totally not a team player. And I was like, oh, that is not my child. I'm glad I didn't get the t-shirt that said so-and-so's mom with this number on the back, because I had to identify that's my son, acting a fool on the court. Total 180, right? Total 180. And let me tell you, so between that, and then he had a great wrestling season. In our league, he placed second. And now on track, the coaches recruiting him. He's probably not coming back to homeschool. He's got his cadre of all of his sports friends, and then a couple of classmates that don't do any sports, but they're really, really cool. He's got his little world now. And honestly, I don't know if my homeschool can compete with that, because let me tell you one other thing too, why your child might be not feeling homeschooling. When you get to high school, I don't know how it is in y'all city. I'm in a big city, and homeschooling, you trip over homeschooling stuff. But for the high school level, it dwindles drastically. These are the truths about homeschooling not a lot of people want to talk about. Now, homeschooling high school does not have to be hard. My son started high school technically when he was in 6th grade, or was he in 5th? Unofficially in 5th grade, because he started doing high school work, but 6th grade officially with a transcript. It's harder to find other high school students. And it's not just, oh, look, there are 5 high school students over there. At this stage and age, they want to gel with people. So it's not enough for there to just be high school students at a class or an after school or an activity or whatever. They want someone they can vibe with. So now you dwindle your options even smaller, because there were some kids in this PE class, but yeah, I'm not really feeling them. So what are you going to do? So you have to try even harder, and just at that high school level, to get the social aspects going. If your child is a social butterfly, if your child's an introvert, if they're like, "Mom, I'm not caring about all that," you're fine. My child, he feeds off of that. So I don't know if he's coming back to homeschooling. And I hope he don't try to convince his brothers to come to high school with him. But I don't know. That's something I'll worry about next year. But yeah. So Muna, that is a win, because if you're finding that this is not working right now, I got too much going on, or it's controversy maybe. Homeschooling is working with 2 kids, but with this kid, it's not. Maybe this kid needs to try a different path for a minute. Okay. You see what I'm saying? You have to treat, and first of all, stop telling people your business. Outside your house, don't put your business on the street. You don't need 50 million opinions and lectures and judgments from folks. Keep your business on the interior side of the front door, your front door. So you've got to do what is right for that child that's in front of you and for your peace of mind. Okay. So if you have a child that will do better somewhere else, that's what you do. All right. So that's a winner for Muna. All right. Let me catch up on these comments. Anya, we have random off days when they are just melting onto the floor or down in their chairs, and it is hard to navigate moods. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the moods, especially if you have preteens or if you have littles, because that's when there's hormones for the teens, and then the comprehension is just not there for the little ones, right? Ivory, man, I might have to wear my glasses next time. Is there a way I can make this screen bigger? There's got to be a way to make the screen bigger. Let me just get closer. Now I feel old. All right. Hello, everyone. One of my little ones understood the before and after numbers. We got a win. Win-win for the both of us. Yes. That is huge. Number sense. Oh my goodness. People underestimate number sense. That is, as a matter of fact, Miss Collins talks about that. Number sense. That is huge. I know that is a huge win. Simple life. I'm reading Mind Habits across the curriculum, and it shows you how to teach your child to be a life learner. I love that. You know what? Mind Habits. Simple Life. If you could put the author's name and that book in the chat so I can add it to. Oh, okay. So, guys, so if you go to my community section, I have a poll up. I have a couple of books up there for what our book discussion is going to be next month, starting in March. It's called Books with Peeps, because y'all are my peeps. And I put my 3 books up there, which I have here. And then if you have any suggestions, like Simple Life just said, add that there, and we'll poll that. All right. So thank you for that suggestion. All right, we got a little spammer right here. All right, who's next? Oh, I got rid of you. Hey, Jessica. Hey, Jessica. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Hold on, let me get rid of this one. Okay, cool. All right. So let's move on to what are we going to do about this? So now you have some ideas of what are these scenarios that look like my kid's just not refusing to homeschool. Okay. Now, this might be controversial for some people, but if the shoe fits, wear it proudly with a nice little overcoat or a little pencil, A-line skirt, whatever. Oh, Muna, I didn't mean to block you. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, how do I unblock you? Oh, Muna, I blocked you by accident. I'm sorry. Oh, man. And it's not letting me unblock you. Uh-oh. I'm sorry, Muna. It won't let me unblock you. Wait, I'm the owner of this. Why can't I unblock you? Oh, darn. Okay, guys. Sorry, Muna. I hope you can still hear. I didn't mean to do that. It's not letting me unblock you. Hey, if anyone who live streams, is there a way to unblock somebody? I mean, I can go into YouTube on the back end and do that, but I'm sorry. That was by accident, Muna. I'm trying to see if I can unblock you somewhere else. I might have to go into YouTube and do it. Oh, I'm sorry. All right. So, oh, I hate doing that. Okay. That just threw me off. What was I talking about, y'all? I did not mean to block you. I'm so sorry. What was I saying? Okay, so controversy. No, I shouldn't say controversy. Um, but oh wait, Crystal has a win. My win for the week is that my fourth grader finished all about spelling level 3 on Monday and got a 90% on her English from the Roots Up Greek and Latin root words test. That is huge. And my child did all about spelling. And let me tell you, that is no joke. So that is a huge accomplishment. Shout out to you and your baby for getting that done. All right. So, and I shouldn't say controversy about this, but when we start trying to address the solutions for why my child hates homeschooling, I have a quote that I want you guys to think about. Now, the reason why I'm using the quote is because I don't want you to think I'm talking about you. I'm talking about I'm not saying this. Marva is saying this. Okay, hold on. It's Marva. It's not me. I know Marva. I have a video. I talk about the top 10 teacher movies of all time. She's on this list. Y'all need to look up Marva Collins. If Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince, his world Purple Badness, he made a video called The Most Beautiful Girl in the World. At the time, he was with Maite, who was very, very beautiful. And the main person he focused on that sat in the throne, on the throne, was Marva Collins. She was the most beautiful woman in the world because of her heart. So anyway, so this is coming from Martha and her heart. And she says that this is part of the solution, okay? If there is anything that we wish to change in the child, we should first examine it and see whether it is not something that could be better changed in ourselves. I'm sorry, Marva didn't say that. That's Carl Jung. Not me. Marva loved the quote from Carl Jung. Okay, so essentially it is your child's doing X, Y, and Z. Parent, what are you doing? A, B, and C. So it's take a look at yourself. It's the man in the mirror. And so this is what I want to do. Now, I have 2 books that, if you're being honest with yourself, Marva also talks about painting a picture of what does your child see when your child looks at you as the parent? What is that picture of you like? You know what you think you are to your kid, but how does your kid really see you as the parent, right? And we might be really surprised how they view us. Okay, you're telling your kid, okay, we're gonna do this at this time and this and that, and mom, this is too hard. We just got to do it. Just got to do it. Meanwhile, you trying to lose weight, and you have to you have to drink a smoothie every morning, and you get halfway through the smoothie and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna set this here, I just can't. And then that smoothie is all nasty and foamy by the end of the day because you didn't finish it. So you didn't start what you finished because it was too hard. Meanwhile, you're telling your child on the other side of the spectrum, come on, we gotta get this writing done. But mom, it's hard, we gotta get it. But you didn't do what was hard, mom. But your child would never say that. So what picture are you painting in front of your child? Okay. Now, to paint that picture, you have to look at what you are doing that might be kind of faulty or that is setting a different example for your child. Okay. So one of those things is consistency. Okay, guys, we're going to do math and reading on Monday and spelling and grammar on Tuesday, or we're going to start at 8 o'clock, or we're going to start after lunch, or whatever you tell them you're going to do, you don't follow through. And so now your kids are confused. Their expectations are all over the place. They think they're only doing 3 subjects, but then you say, no, we're going to do 5. So now they're doing 5 subjects today. Or you say, oh, we're going to do 1 page of math. And then you're like, huh, No, let's do one more page. You just keep changing the game on them. And so that sets up resistance, okay? You have a curriculum that your child is absolutely, they're terrified of. Now, it's one thing when your child is a little challenging and your child needs help learning how to persevere. It's another one where your child really has some kind of real physical reaction to it, okay? And I don't know if your child has any diagnoses or any learning disabilities. It could be that maybe there's too much text on the page, and that's over sensory for your child. These are things where you have to look at yourself as the parent, as the educator. Okay, is this appropriate for my child? Why are they having such a visceral opposition to this? Beside, oh, I just don't want to do this. Okay, your children will act a different way when it's something they just don't want to do, and when it's something that is affecting them really negatively. Okay, that's when you have to be in tune with your child. Put your ego aside. Oh, we have to do this because it says that we have to do 4 lessons a week, and that's what the book says. That's what we have to do. You got to throw all that out the window and just teach that child right there. So number one solution is look at yourself and see if you are modeling good habits. Now, if you don't know that you're modeling good habits, you're probably not. Or maybe you model 2 good habits and then you model 5 bad habits. Okay, so that's a negative effect right there, huh? Or you are all over the place with your homeschooling. You print stuff like 5 minutes before you're going to start homeschooling. You looking through file cabinets, can't find a pencil, stuff all over the place. Okay, so now we're looking at you. So if you're honest with yourself, take a look at yourself and decide, okay, I got to clean up my house before I start demanding things from my kid. Now, my first book, I got 2 of them. Now, I have these books in the description below. I put book 1, book 2, book 3 because I don't want y'all to cheat and get ahead of the class. But I love both these books. This is the first book, right? This gives you the history of Marva Collins. This is Marva Collins' Way by Marva Collins. But this is to get the big picture, But if you want more practical steps, you want Marva Collins' Ordinary Children, Extraordinary Teachers. Now, with this book, she gives you great situations, the 10 teaching commandments, reading that helps me through bad times, how to teach reading comprehension. Because if you watch her movie, the Marva Collins story, if you don't know her story, she took all of these castaway kids with different learning abilities, different ages, different dispositions. And at the end of the year, when she had to test, because the city or the state was forcing her to test, her kids scored 2, 3, 4, 5 grade levels above in 9 months. In 9 months, she had them reading Chaucer, Shakespeare, Proust, everything. Now, in this book, she shows you how. And at the very back, is it in this one? No, it's in this one. At the very back, she has a book recommendation. She has a reading list. If you can see that. So I would get both books. This is good for the reading list, but this is more of your application, okay? And then her third book, this is really for the family. And actually, if you're in dire straits, I would actually get this one first. Why? Because look, say your child, you have a couple of kids, and 2 of the kids, you got that sibling rivalry going on. Maybe there's some jealousy. She breaks it down how to address it, but she does it by what's going on in your family. Okay, you got she talks about choice, confidence, feelings, goals, habits, direction, jealousy, manners, reading, self-reliance. She goes on and on. And then she has self-affirmation poems for your children. But let me tell you, one thing I noticed that made Marva Collins successful, and she said it, before all these new age people came, Carol Dweck with Mindset, Tony Robbins, all of that, Marva was talking about this. And she says, now this ain't me talking. Now this is Marva. right here. Repetition and drill are the key to educating even the slowest or youngest child. You can take that to the bank. When you see what that woman did, and she did it all with love and a smile, but when you see what this woman did with these children, that's what she did. Because her theory is when you give them a hard subject, a reading passage, you have to do it repeatedly over and over again. And you have to be consistent with it. Okay. Because that's how you eliminate the fear of it, constant exposure to it. Okay. So, for those of you who just want to get like straight to like, I just need something just to figure something out with my life. This one, and it's short too. And so for each little issue going on, she gives you, because Marva don't play. All right, so you say your kid needs discipline and perseverance. Okay, she gives you an inspirational quote, and then she gives you her take on it, and then she's like, well, try this with your family. She gives you the takeaway. Okay, and then she puts her little spin on it, and then that's the takeaway. It's a reading passage. Okay, and then you can write your notes at the end. So if you want to start with this to get straight to it, you're like, girl, I ain't got time to do all that reading. All right. Do this, okay? Choose what's ailing your child or you, and then go straight to the solution, okay? So that's the first solution. Work on thyself, mom, dad, or educator, auntie, grandma, mima, whatever. Next one. Oh, hold on. Let me catch up on these chats. Oh, I'm so sorry, Muna. I hope you can get back in. Okay. Small win for my little one. She jumped 19 points in her math scores. Awesome. Jessica, you always be on point with your kids. That's the truth. Yeah, it hurts sometimes. But you know what? Once you get past it and you move on, you're already succeeding. So many of us will just wallow in that, and we're just stuck. We're just mired. I'm actually reading Atomic Habits now. Oh, Steph. Yes. Oh my God. I love this. Okay, we're going to move on to this because we're already 37 minutes in. Let me just catch up with these comments. Paige says, I recently watched the Marva Collins movie after I watched your inspirational movie list video and immediately bought one of her books. I get the hype. I really want to better myself for my kids. Oh my, did y'all hear that? Paige, that's a win. You see, like even me with all my years of experience homeschooling, there's always your kid will always have a monkey wrench for you. Your kids will always have a monkey wrench for you. Or just as we're getting older, because everything right now is new for us as parents, as we're getting older, as we're approaching middle age and beyond. All of these things are new to us. You know, my eyes, you see my eyes are getting bad, you know, my hips kind of hurting. So these are new things, new things are happening to us as well. So we have to just really just plan. We have to plan and then know that when these obstacles come, that our planning will at least help us at least do triage, okay, until we can find out, okay, is there another way, is there a better way? Let me do that. Okay, so okay guys, hold on. I lost one of my earrings. The cube is loose. Okay, I got a whole bunch of solutions. Hold on. All right, so for the little ones, okay, now I have this in another video, a couple of videos, like how to homeschool multiple kids and like not go insane. It's titled something like that. Let me adjust the little ones really quickly, okay? And these are things that I have done. So when you have your little ones, so you know, preschoolers, say up to 5th grade or maybe even 3rd grade. Okay, I use a reward system. I use a reward. You know what? I still use a reward system, because when my kids want like some kind of Lego set that's astronomically high, I tell them, you got to read books. That's it. You want this $80-$100 Lego set? You're gonna have to read a number of books, and the number of books depends on the complexity of the book. So they can't come bring me a Berenstain Bears or some Geronimo. You got to be pulling from the real bookshelf. Like you got to be pulling some real books to read. So, but that's a reward system. We as adults operate on a reward system, especially at work or if you want something from your husband, or you want something from a friend, hey, that's just life. So some people say, oh, you can't reward kids because then they won't be motivated. No, that's motivation. That's motivation. If they really want it, they'll put the work in. But you have to make sure the reward is in alignment with what they want to get. Okay. You can't say read 15 books and they just want to get something from the dollar store. Okay. So just, make that balance, but a reward system. Okay. And make it realistic and make it consistent. Hey, on Fridays, we can go get some ice cream. Okay. Provided, we get through the week, we get our activities done, or we get these subjects done. You can break it down like that. Or you can do it by the day. Hey, if you do these are the 3 core subjects mommy wants you to get through. Anything else is gravy. So we call it the 3, the magic 3. They get those 3 things done. Okay, now you can get maybe 20 minutes of plate of computer time or whatever they want. Okay. And then you're okay because they gotten the 3 subjects that you think are most important. They got those subjects done. And hey, I would rather have 3 subjects that are solidly done than 5 or 7, 5, 6, 7 subjects that are kind of half ASS, right? I would rather have quality over the quantity. Okay, awesome. Next solution. You don't have, especially for new homeschoolers, you think you have to do what they do at the school, the public school. 6 or 7 subjects a day. You don't have to do that. Now, depending on what state you live in and what those rules are, you're going to have to shape shift and be a Jedi. So what you do in actuality and what you put on the recording or the record keeping sheets, that's between you and whomever. I'm just saying, just hit those cores, okay? And just take it from there. You don't have to, your child can successfully learn and pass tests if you focus on core, at least 3 subjects, but really put that time into it, okay? Block scheduling is a great thing to do to help you do that, to take the burden off of having to do so many subjects every day, okay? For the littles, solution, incorporate toys or props. When I used to work at Showtime back in New York City, so it's the building where MTV, it was in Times Square. It was a big building. It was owned by Viacom. So all the companies that Viacom had was in that building. So it was Showtime, Nickelodeon, a whole bunch of shows you used to see on TV. And there was a big cafeteria. Now, whenever I went down to the Nickelodeon floor, and I love going to that floor because as soon as you walked into that floor, all the lights were off and they had all kinds of Christmas lights all on the ceiling, and some of them were kind of draped down. People had mood lights everywhere, and almost every desk, it wasn't even like a real desk, it was like some stuff they just put together. Everybody had a big Lego set, and they would just sit, pitch ideas or just talk. I don't know what they were doing, but they were just playing with Legos. And then on one table by the snacks, that was when Viacom was flush with money, and our cafeteria, you could eat for free. They had one table, and it was this huge airplane or aircraft thing, Lego thing. It was like probably 3 feet high. And it was always getting bigger because people would just walk over there, look for some pieces, just add something on. Like the wings were like way out here. And I was like, I saw that when I saw pictures of at Google, the headquarters, same thing. All these engineers would have just Legos, just building and whatever. They're working and incorporating toys, making $500,000, $100,000 a year. So it is good enough for them, and obviously they were getting their work done, it's good enough for your kids. So just because your kid, you think they've aged out of toys, no, keep those suckers in the house. Don't get rid of those toys. My kids still, and they'll probably kill me for this, I still have all my Thomas the Tank Engine stuff, most of it. And every now and then there's one that finds his way somewhere. And there's one, the little purple lady, I think her name was Lady. And one son will just, have it out. And while he's like thinking, he'll just roll the train like back and forth. Sometimes it gets caught in his hair. But, sometimes toys help to release the creativity. It helps to, if there are sensory issues, it helps to be a valve for that. And a lot of times you just kind of need something to do with your hands while you're reading, or if you're writing. Well, not really writing, but I guess you could do it if you're writing. But it's just another tool. So don't sleep on toys, okay? Even if for some kids they might just want to have their toy right there in front of them just to look at, or to like the punch every now and then. They do a little bit of writing and then punch Elmo, whatever. But pull some of that stuff out if you still have it, and see what kind of reaction you get. Okay, next one for solution. Your child's hating everything. Bring food into the game. Mix in the food. Okay. Now I'm guilty of this because I always I like snacks with everything. Like, we do snacks with documentaries. When we used to do poetry time, we had snacks. When we read, we do read alouds. When we did morning basket, I always had snacks. So, you can keep it healthy, or, you can mix it in. Also, for the older ones, the food time, if you have the time, if you want to do this, where, hey, let's prepare lunch together. And while you guys are doing lunch, it could be something as easy as just making a sandwich. Ask them questions about what you guys read earlier, or maybe they read yesterday. Or, hey, can you tell me, how do you tell me again, how do you do inequalities? Just ask them some questions. Okay. Yesterday, my child, my seventh grader, he had to do a summary. It was really easy, but he hadn't done one in a while, and he just did not want to. I need to close my door. He did not want to summarize this long book. It was a chapter, and he didn't want to write it. He had to write it, and he just did not want to do it that day. This was, I think, yesterday. No, yesterday. He did not want to do it. So I'm like, I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know if his braces were bothering him, or, if he's kind of got some issues going on with his brother because they kind of got into it. I have no idea. So I was like, you know what? Just tell it to me. He's like, really? Like, yeah, just tell me the summary. Like, you've done it before. Just tell me the summary, and that's fine. But you got to stand over here. I got a little step stool. So you got to stand on that stool, and you have to enunciate, and you have to be still, not holding on to this, grabbing this, picking up a Lego. You have to deliver it to me as if I were an audience. He was like, I got to do all that? Like, dude, you've done that before. All right, that's all you want? Like, that's all I want. So he got up there and he did an amazing summary of it, much better than what he would have done had he written it, because he was just in that kind of mood. I said, cool. So in his book, I just wrote oral resuscitation of summary. Boom, that was it. So be flexible, okay, and be open to receiving their knowledge in non-written form. Okay, there's nothing wrong with them talking the answers to you. Okay, you got a big long sheet of multiplication problems, have them talk it out to you. Okay, everything doesn't have to be written down and presented to you like you're at the grocery store. Okay. Now here's one of my tips. It's one of my little hacks. All right. So, and I usually do this when I'm messy, like I can't get it together. And it's called my sandwich. Okay, it's a little spin-off of a sandwich. Okay, you got your sandwich, you got your bread, some nice little brioche bread. Then you put your little seasoning mayo on, or whatever kind. I don't use mayo, but the little whatever kind of sauce you use, put on the bottom bread, top bread. Then you got your little lettuce, and then you got your cheeses and all the little good stuff on the inside. A little sprinkle of salt and pepper. Now, for my kids, when I'm feeling like, okay, I can't, I need help, I said, okay, we're gonna have some sandwiches, and they like that. And what sandwich means, it's the law of three, and Atomic Habits, it kind of refers to it. The law of three, and that is, you do something easy, followed by something hard, followed by something easy. So we open with easy and we close with easy, okay? Because that helps to cut down on the moans and the groans and the protestations beginning the lesson. And that's another thing. your vocabulary. You got to change up your vocabulary. When you say, okay, guys, it's time for school. Wah, wah, wah. Don't nobody want to hear school. Okay. Change your word up. Give it a special word or just say, hey, let's start our lesson. All right. Are y'all ready to learn? Okay. Try to take out school. Let's start school. Just school. Even the word school sounds like, ugh, like school. Ugh. So change the wording up. But okay, so for my image, so we start with something easy or something they like, your choice, easy or something they like. Then you slide in with all the little extra stuff, the details, the little harder subject. And the harder subject could be something that either takes a lot of time or is a little challenging or it's something they don't like. And if it's all three, may the force be with you. Go back to my other solutions, the reward system, the toys, and the food. And then you close with something nice, okay? It's like, how I kind of do my manage with you guys. I like to open with a win, okay? That's the easy part. And then we get into all the things we have to talk about that we might not think is pleasant. That's the middle. And then we close at the end, okay, with something easy, and then we get out of here. So manage 3 subjects, okay? But listen, don't let them pick the subjects. They're going to pick all the easy stuff, okay? Now, you can massage the situation and present them the subjects and then let them choose to make them think they have power. But make sure you're comfortable with those 3 subjects being the only 3 things that they use, okay? All right, moving on. Next solution. Okay. Routines. Guys, sometimes the answer is quite easy. Oh, I still have this up here. I'm sorry. Sometimes the answer is quite easy. Hey, Danielle, so good to see you. Consistency and repetition is key. My son with special needs has caught up to grade level in several subjects by doing consistent, repetitive work. I told y'all. James Clear is telling y'all, and Marva told y'all. Y'all, sometimes it's like, the old classic movies, Endless Love. No, what's the one with Brooke Shields? What's the movie with Brooke Shields? Basically, all the classic movies like The Godfather. You would not remake The Godfather or E.T. There are certain things that are classics for a reason. You just can't mess with it. People think, oh, repetition and drill is no. This is one reason why I like the classical approach to education, because they understand the inner workings of the mental development of the child and certain levels. That's where you have your grammar stage, which is not subject grammar, the grammar stage, the logic stage, and then the rhetoric stage, because your child's development is very different. So in elementary, you're just getting number sense, right? Like what I think Jessica or Paige was saying, your child is learning number sense. That's grammar. You're depositing all this information. Your child is a sponge. That's why they say teach your children foreign languages in their early years, because they're a sponge. They can take in so much information. They can't synthesize it and spit it out in a rhetoric form because that's not their developmental level. But when they get to the rhetoric stage, which is like high school, that's the stage where they can take all the information they've synthesized and ask questions about it and then give you their response, give you that rhetorical response or that reasoned logical thinking, okay? And the logic stage in the middle is once they're able to take in the information, they start asking questions about it. Why? How? Why did the war start? How did it start? And then the rhetoric stage, now they're like, okay, here's my opinion on why this should have happened or why this, so the classical approach understands the different levels of thinking for the child. And in here, this is the this stage, the Atomic Habits covers all those stages because repetition and drill helps you when you're getting lots of information or very difficult information, okay? It helps your body have that lifesaver so you can just get it. And then once you got it, you're floating around in the Pacific Ocean, you got the information, you got the lifesaver, life ring around you. Now, since you got it, now you can look around and see if there's a boat coming. or playing. Okay, now you can breathe, you can look and see, or you can look for land out there. Okay, you can't do that if you don't have the lifesaver on. So if you don't have the repetition and the drill of seeing this word or seeing these problems over and over again, you're still scared, you're still flailing in the ocean because you don't have that lifesaver. Now that you got it, okay, help. Now you see what I'm saying? Am I making sense? So James Clear. So my second book recommendation, this is also on my the books with peeps list, Atomic Habits. Okay, let me tell you, he has 4 laws, okay, for how to create an atomic habit, a successful atomic habit. And the first one, y'all got to see this. The first one, you got problems with your kids? All right, let's find out what's the main problem. All right, your child has a class. Maybe they have an online class. It's 8 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning. Your child is not a morning person, but that was the only spot left and you got it. And it was at that time and you just could, you had to take the class. You had to sign your child up for the class. But the kid, your child as a teen, growth spurts, hormones, kids at that level, that age group, they need more sleep. Mom and dad, they do need more sleep. They got to be up at 7 o'clock. You're getting a lot of resistance. That's what we're going to do. All right. Make it obvious. Okay. You have to make what you're about to do obvious. So you explain it very carefully to them so they know exactly what's going down. If you're not good at explaining it, if it takes more than one sentence, then it's too complicated and you got to sit back and think about it all over again. So to make it obvious, okay, son, you're sleeping through class because you're really, really tired. And I know at this time you really do need more sleep. So we're going to make sure we prep the night before. Make it obvious. We're prepping the night before. Night prep or prep night. Okay. Boom. This is what we're going to do. So you're making it obvious. Okay. This is what we're doing to erase this situation that's happening the next day. All right. So what does that night prep entail? All right. Well, law 2 says you got to make it attractive. Law 2, make it attractive. Okay. So don't say, you got to go to bed at 7 o'clock. No. Find a compromise, a decent time where he can go to bed. Now, remember, this can kind of change because you'll be testing it to see, okay? Because you're building toward that atomic habit. So make it attractive. Make it like, hey, you know what? I'll make you, because chances are you don't have that class every day. Hey, on the days that you have that class, the night before for night prep, I'll make you a nice dinner, okay? So give some kind of incentive, okay? Hey, I know you have to get up really, really early tomorrow. So maybe we can drop one subject that you don't have to do. Or that the night before, instead of doing the dishes, maybe we can swap and you can do a different chore that's not so taxing. Or you don't do a chore that night and we'll make it up on another day. You might have to do double duty on another day. But make it attractive, okay? So first make it obvious what the change is going to be. And then make it attractive, okay? You gotta be the sugar. You can't be all flies and alcohol. What is it? Flies and sour, whatever. You got to be sweet and honey. All right. Law 3, make it easy. Because humans operate on the law of least effort. We take the least resistance. We're lazy. Okay. Kids are too. So what do I got to do again, Mom? Baby, it's easy. All you got to do is set the alarm clock. Lay your clothes out. Law 3s. Set the alarm clock so they can wake up. Lay out the clothes, whatever they're going to wear. Or sleep in your clothes. So when you wake up, all you have to do is just, clean your face and show up for class. Okay. And then if there's a breakfast that you want to have, hopefully they can eat. Like they can turn off the little video and eat. Maybe make your some oats, like oatmeal. They have like overnight oatmeal where you make it in a mason jar. This is just all off the top of my head. But find something that your child can make. 3 things. Okay, I got to set my alarm clock. I got to lay out my clothes and then make a nice little breakfast in the morning. It could be where Maybe he just wants toast. So just have the bread out, in the bag, and the knife out with the jelly and the butter. So when he wakes up, all he has to do is just open the bag, slather that stuff on, grab the little napkin, and go. Everything's easy, okay? You're building that habit. And then the fourth law, make it satisfying. This is James Clear. This is how you build an atomic habit, okay? That's how people, if it's satisfying, you're going to stick with it, okay? So if he's seeing the results of that, then your child is going to be pleased. It's working. They're going to be satisfied with it, okay? Sometimes just the simplest things are enough to keep your child going, okay? And then it goes into like more advanced stuff, but you're changing that behavior, okay? And you have to be consistent with it. Like Marva was saying, you got to keep doing it over and over again, okay? You can make little adjustments if you're seeing, okay, we might have to go to bed at a different time, or we might have to try a different breakfast. But just if your kid is showing resistance to something, think about how you can make a change, and then think of those 4 laws for how you can make that change. Your child struggles with handwriting. Okay, I speak from personal experience. Okay, I said, okay. Also, I would add to the atomic habits, set the bar low so they can build their confidence up. So I would make that like the fifth rule. So I told my child, okay, we're going to copy a passage because we're doing copy work, and you're just going to do 1 or 2 words a day. So by the end of the week, you will have written 1 sentence. That sounds ridiculous, right? My kid thought so. My son thought so. He was like, oh my God, Mom, that's nothing. Oh, okay, you're big and bad. You can always do more if you want to. No, that's fine. But I said, it has to be neat. It has to be your best writing, okay? And your paper has to stay neat. Because I don't know, my son can crumble up paper in a notebook. I'm like, how do you get wrinkles in your paper? So it had to be neat, and it had to be his best handwriting. So it was only 2 things I demanded of him, but it was easy. I made it easy, and I put stickers to make it attractive. If it looked really, really nice, I would put a sticker on that line at the top or at the bottom. 1, 2 words that day. Oh, that's cool. Sticker. Next to sticker. My kid writes forever, and he writes very well. But not all the time, but when he wants to. But that's not the point. But you see, so you have to do like a 180 on them. Like if you just talk to them like, man, we about to go kindergarten level with this. They're gonna think you're joking. Do it. Let me tell you, for those of my people in California, if y'all remember that brother, he was out in I want to say Riverside County or San Bernardino County. Oh, there's a mosquito in here. That's why I'm itching. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna close this door. But anyway, mosquitoes getting me. He took all these urban kids, and he put them on Khan Academy, and he started them. I'm not kidding you. They were in 6th grade, 6th and 7th grade, I think, but middle school. He started them on the kindergarten level. Now, these kids historically had some of the lowest math scores in the state. He started them at the kindergarten level, and remember, school year is 9 months. And then you factor in, all the stuff that happens at the beginning of the year. So maybe he had like 8 months time. And his kids all scored above their grade level, but he was consistent, and he started with the expectation was really, really, really low. Now Martha starts really, really high, but it works on the opposite side if you start on really, really low, because then you start to see there are gaps. You build their confidence up, but while they're doing the work that they know they can do, now you're building that repetition. Now you're building in that drill, okay? So now they know the routine. Okay, we log on here, we do this, boom, 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 boom. And then when it starts to get harder, they already have all the stuff done. The mechanics are set, and now they can tackle the harder things, okay? So please don't shy away from repetition and drill. This is an international bestseller. tiny changes, remarkable results, and consistency is key. Okay. All right, let's move on. Oh, let me catch up on these comments. See, Evelyn says, that's what we do too. He oral narrates. I write it down the next day. He dictates it. Yes. There are so many ways to, oh my God, now I'm going to be scratching forever. There are so many ways to skin the cat. Okay. And that's a win. That's a win. Okay. Hey, Kamika, long time no see. Long time no see. Hey, Kira. Oh, hey, I'm saying hey. Hi. See, I meant to block her and not the other person. All right, Sheena. I'm late to this, but hello from New Jersey. Oh, you're right on time, Sheena. You catch the wait a minute. Okay, I thought I blocked her. All right, so any other comments? I got a couple more, then I'm gonna get out of here. Okay, the next one. You might be doing too much at once, okay? You might I need to do a video on lesson planning. You might be having your child do way too much of something in one sitting, okay? Now, here's a way to get around that. It's called the Pomodoro technique. Let me put it in the chat. The Pomodoro technique. Some guy, he was a student, came up with this, and I think like his clock was shaped like a tomato. And so he named it that, whatever. But what it means is you take a large task and you break it into manageable chunks with breaks in between. And it's called like cycles. So for instance, you might have a cycle. A lot of medical students do this. Med school students, they do this. Say you're you want to work for 20 minutes, and then after 20 minutes, you'll take a, say, 5-minute break. And then that will be the first cycle. And then the second cycle will be the next 20 minutes, and then a 5-minute break. That completes your second cycle. And you do it again until you get to your fourth cycle. After the fourth cycle, then you extend the break, or you can extend the time, or both. But the whole point is you're trying to do more and more work, okay, to get through the tasks that you have to do. So for your child, you want them to, it's a lot of reading, a lot of writing, whatever. Start with 5 minutes. Truth be told, you might have to start with 3 minutes. You look at your child, because attention spans are short, so a lot of distractions. I always started with 5 minutes, and then a quick 1 or 2 minute break. During that break, they can either do like a quick little exercise. As your breaks get longer, maybe they can do a quick little game, a mind stimulation game. Okay, like I'm not a memory game, that takes a little bit too long. Think Fun has lots of quick little games that are solo that your child can do, and it's a nice little burst of something different, and then they can go back to their task refreshed. Okay, it's called the Pomodomo Technique. I swear by that. When my son was diagnosed with autism, it wasn't until a couple years later when he started doing behavioral therapy. Well, he was doing it before, but when the work started to increase, that I found out about that, and it really works wonders. As a matter of fact, I have a video. We used a clock. It's called Time Timer. I don't even know if they still make it, but it's a big square, or you can get a small one, and it shows the elapsed time in red, because with children on the spectrum, a lot of times they need to know what's coming next for some of them. And with the elapsed time, he could visually see how much time was left. And as the red decreased, he would make that association with, okay, I'm almost there. So because he was a visual learner, so just seeing the numbers the numbers didn't mean anything to him. He needed to see a visual representation of elapsed time. But for your kid, it could be something that's using the kitchen timer. Maybe you don't want them to see the time, but maybe make it something where it beeps so they know. Or maybe you do want them to see the time. Okay, but you don't want them to be afraid of the time, or like, I'm just going to write real slow until the timer goes off. So maybe you might want to turn the timer around so they can't see it, because you know how kids are. But that's one thing that you can do to help break up the task that they're going to do, and say, hey, okay, we're only going to do one cycle of this. So that means 4 times. And then decide how long each time's going to be, and then how long that break is. Okay. As your breaks get longer, you don't want them idle. So, hey, have something that they can do. Maybe a quick little game or some exercises, or maybe there's a book that they like that they're reading. Hey, read 2 or 3 pages. Okay. Or read during the break. And then when it goes off, they go back to their work. But make it to where their brain gets to do something totally different than what, I mean, don't give them some other academic task. Make it totally different. Also, it helps if the child leaves the room or the place where they were doing their work. Okay. So a change in scenery makes a difference. I'm telling you guys, this doesn't have to be complicated with your children. Little things go a long way. If you homeschool in the living room, or if you have a homeschool room, go upstairs, go outside, go to the kitchen table, go sit on the stairs. Okay, just make it a different place for them. Okay, all right. Moving on. Music. Okay, so my kids listen to old radio classics like the detective series, like Michael Shane, Bulldog Drummond, Philo Vance. Oh my goodness. I Who knew? My kids listen to a lot of audiobooks, and I found some of my old classics that my cousin made for me because he was really into that. But I actually had the ones that my grandma had. I took them from my grandma's house back in the late 80s, and they were on cassette. So he burned some because he had his own copy, and he burned the CDs. And for some reason, they never worked on one of my old radios, but their radio, it worked. And so now my kids are like, we love this. Oh my goodness, guys, let me tell you, old radio, especially the ones from the 1930s and the 1940s. Oh my gosh, it is hilarious. It is so many lessons in that, the history lessons, the geography lessons, just the vernacular. I got to do a video on that, and I had to let you guys hear what that sounds like. I'm so tickled to death because when they do their work, when they're in their room, like, you know what? One day I'm gonna do it live, so you don't think I set it up. I'm just gonna walk by their room, because they listen to it every night when they go to bed, like, and it's on a loop, which my husband hates, because they have loft beds, so they turn it up because the radio's like under one of the boys' bed. But let me tell you, oh my gosh, you talk about the war, because one of my sons is really into war, and he gets to hear how it was, how they talked about it in the commercials, um, on these radio shows. I love it. But let me tell you, my kids also listen to jazz. So they play jazz. Well, my youngest one does, and my middle one, he likes the old radio classics. So, and it's just in the background while they're doing their work, not while they're reading, but for everything else, it's on. I have a radio. I got a $30 radio, Sony. It sounds bad because radios aren't what they used to be. But let me tell you, that is a game changer in our house. I got all kinds of CDs in the car because they like to listen to it. They're really, really fun, and it's different. So maybe consider that. Now, be aware, I get all my stuff off of eBay, because a lot of people burning stuff, so it's cheaper. Amazon, they're a little pricey. So it's your call, but definitely old radio classics. Old radio classics. Yes. Oh, the Pomodomo. That's me. By the way, completely unrelated to homeschooling. Hey, Sheena, I watched your apple cider vinegar recipe. I am trying it this weekend. Oh, wonderful. I'm having an update tomorrow. Okay. Because I had 2 surprising things that happened. And so I want to share that with you guys. And I'm going to be live on that tomorrow. Okay. And now, well, my son wants to do track. I thought I was off the hook. But yeah, I'm gonna be canning butter and doing the vinegar update this weekend. So definitely catch that if you can. So guys, Sheena is talking about my other channel, which is the Messy Homesteader, and that is where I'm just chronicling my journey to having a real homestead, and which I'm in the process of trying to get that going. But in the meantime, I'm growing my own food, which I've always done for the past 20 years. I'm new to canning, so I'm doing that, food dehydration. and all those things that come with homesteading, baking bread from scratch. So all of that stuff. So if you're interested in that, come pop on over in that for that channel. It seems like a really fun group. I can't wait to start building up that community. All right, now back to you guys. All right. Let's see. We listen to either jazz or classical music during school. Yeah. So I'm telling you, music, people underestimate the power of music. Now, the music today, yeah. But that quality music really does make an impact on our children. So find the sweet spot, find a couple of things they can resonate with. I always start with Stevie Wonder, Duke Ellington. I start with the classics that never go out of style. And you might want something instrumental. There are lots of CDs or things you can download or just listen to on YouTube where you can have, you know, your music. Hey, you might want to incorporate artists or composer studies, maybe monthly studies. Pick one composer and play that music of that composer. And hey, Prince, Michael Jackson, they were composers. So you might want to start with something that they like, you know, that's classic, or that's someone that has a catalog of music, of quality music. Okay, so that kind of stops at what year? 1999. So if you can find somebody that your kid likes, you know, that has a good catalog, you can do an artist study on that. Okay, just to mix it in, and that could be part of your manage, you know, easy. That could be your composure study, right? Mixing you that was my other thing. Bring in YouTube. Like right now, or not right now, but because I'm always using YouTube, but you guys know I use Bookshark for history, part of our history, because I always have to use additional sources to put truth to the other sources. But with Bookshark, when we were on Japan, well, actually all of them, we always go to YouTube. I just mentioned Japan because, you know, my sons are really into well, one is really into war, and you know what's going on with the country that starts with the R, the big one, and the other country that starts with the C. Well, the country that starts with the R, that's, you know, got some shenanigans going on with the country that starts with the U. So anyway, so we've been following that, and but Big C has kind of infiltrated a little bit. So we were watching Shogun, and the Master Samurai on YouTube. Great documentary, free. So don't sleep on YouTube. Make that part of your manage. That could be the end part, the booty part of the sandwich, the bottom part. That could be how you end it. Okay, end with a win. Okay. And then my last thing is, y'all got to be present. You cannot multitask successfully when your child is not feeling school. You got to turn everything off and be right there. And when I say be present, I'm talking Marva Collins present. If you go watch her movie, it's on YouTube, it's free. It's called The Marva Collins Story. I should have linked it down below. When you see her, look, this is the surly kid that don't want to do nothing right here. I'm Marva. Okay. So everybody open their books up and they're getting ready to read Macbeth. Yes, she does do Macbeth. Here she comes. She's sitting next to him. What's wrong, baby? I don't want to do it. Why don't you want to do it? This is stupid. I don't understand. All these words are too big and complicated. Baby. Then she go put her arm around him. Okay, look at me. You are great. You are bright. And we are not here to waste our time. You can do this. Can I help you do it? No, I can't help you do it. No, I want to help you do it. Here, I'm going to take this. Can I sit next to you? You're not going to tell. Well, some kids will say no. Can I sit next? Don't ask yes, no questions. Say, I'm going to sit next to you. All right. Where's my book? Okay. This is the Macbeth book. All right. Macbeth. Okay. What page are we on? Turn to the page, because I don't know. Help Miss Marva turn the page. You know, my hands is old and everything. Can you turn the page for me? Turn to the page. It's 55. Okay, I'll turn. I'm not reading. All right, here we go. 55. Okay, let's look at this. Yes, a lot of words. I agree. There's some big words in here. But you know what? We got big brains. All right. I'm gonna start it off. You gonna help me? Cause Mama got old eyes and stuff. You gonna help me? Okay. I take that as a yes. All right. So then you start reading a little bit. So, but the whole time she got one arm around this kid and her face is really close and she's accepting and acknowledging how the child is feeling. Not any time is she denigrating this child or raising the issue that why don't you want to read? She's none of that. It's okay. I see you. I recognize you. What you are feeling is valid. I acknowledge that. But we are great and we are going to read this because we are great and we are great through our mistakes. Okay, so let's go. Let's make our mistakes. That's how Carol Dweck, that's how our brain gets bigger, by mistakes. All right, and then we read. Okay, I'm going to read this word. I'm going to read this line. Okay, wait a minute. What's this word say? Can you help me out? And she'll sound it out. Read 2 sentences. Get that bond with your child. It ain't about the academics. Just get that bond with that child. Okay. You got to build that trust, that street cred with your kid. Get next to your baby. Okay. Your breath might be funky. Let them know. Child, I didn't brush my teeth. Is that gonna bother you? Yes. I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to work with me, okay? And sit down and do it. And I mean, where's my pen? All right. You gotta write something? All right, baby. You know what? We're going to write 2 sentences. I'm going to write one word. You're going to write the next word. We're going to take turns. What color pen you want? You want blue or red? Don't do yes, no questions because they're always going to say no. Open-ended questions. Okay, I'm going to do blue. I like blue because it's the color of the sky. Okay. You got green? Okay, green's good. That's the color of the vegetables of our zucchini we're going to eat for lunch. All right. You know what you want to have for lunch? Well, as you writing, what you going to have for lunch? You going to have that zucchini? You going to just be there in your child's face. Even if your child don't like you, just back up a little bit, okay? You got to be present and always acknowledge, okay, I know you ain't feeling this, okay? I'm not feeling you being like this because that hurts me. But you know what? And one thing Marva says, she says all the time, I love you all the time, or I love you so much, but we have to do this. Or when you're at wit's end, you tell them, I love you to the moon, but right now, I don't want to talk to you. Please go do your work. Okay? And you got to be stern with that. And you have to be okay with constantly redirecting them back to the task at hand, provided you've set them up to succeed with the task. Maybe you're using the Pomodomo Technique, or maybe you're using a reward system, or maybe you're giving them a different kind of instrument to write with. Don't just send them off into the wild blue yonder. Make sure you set up the system. But if they still are resisting them, baby your child. Sit on the couch with them. Sit next to them. They might be like, why are you doing that? Because you ain't never done it before. Get next to your babies. Okay? So, and if you're still getting more resistant, but after you have genuinely tried most of those tasks, now, then we get into, does my child have some issues that need to be addressed? Are there some therapies that need to take place? Are there some interventions, maybe dietary interventions that we need to consider? Okay. I never put my children, well, my middle one who was diagnosed, I never put him on any kind of pharmaceuticals. That was just our decision. We did everything through a holistic naturopathic way. And if he were to be diagnosed today, he would not meet the criteria for autism at all. But that's just my child. And as you know, with autism, you've seen one child with autism. You've seen one child with autism. That might not be your situation. But in the end, your kid can always say, my mom loved me. Okay? If they don't remember anything else, if everything you try to teach them bomb, my mom was there. Okay? And that really means a lot. So if you are, I knew this was going to be a long video. So if you are still struggling, Look at yourself and make a quick turnabout change and be honest with your kids. Tell your kids, you know what? I don't have this homeschooling thing down pat. And if you got a smart aleck kid, they'll be like, yeah, mom, we know. And laugh at that. You gotta laugh with your kids too. You have to laugh at yourself. I laugh at my kids and I make fun of myself because it takes the pressure off me. I don't want my kids putting me up here on some pedestal. Now I'm here, I'm still mama, but if they see that I'm still an example for them, and if I'm some lofty example that they can never attain or they think it's out of this world, what I say and do means nothing to them. So I show them the mistakes. So when they do it, and they will, they kind of have it in their memory bank. Oh, okay, this is what my mom did when this happened. Okay. And sometimes I deliberately make mistakes so that I can see if they're watching so they can catch me. And trust me, they like to see you do something wrong. That's another thing. If you're gonna get close to your kid and do stuff, do it wrong and see if they caught it. What? You didn't catch that? Man, I made the biggest mistake. Oh, I got away with one. Hats off to mom. I pulled one over your eyes. Can I do it again? Let me see. Let's have a bet on that. All right. Mom won, you goose egg. Like, but I know you can get up to one. So, just have fun. Have fun with it, okay? And if you need to, I have a video on what to do after you've had a bad homeschool day. Just check in my archive somewhere. Stop schooling and start living. Find out what your child is interested in. Actually, I should have started the video with this. Find out what your child is interested in. This is where I give a lot of props to unschoolers slash deschoolers, or people who are interest led learning for their kids. Everything has its drawbacks and pros, but the one thing I like about those approaches is that if you genuinely are following your child's lead, like they genuinely have some interest. Like my son is really into wars and war history. We've been writing that way for like a year and a half. Um, Going to museums where they have tanks and building model planes and doing recreations. Okay, that's great. Some interests might be harder for you to figure out how to make it a learning environment. Google is your friend on that. Also, start watching your kid and knowing this is where homeschooling reigns versus putting your kid in a public school, because your kid is around. You get to see what really they're drawn to just by listening to what they say or what they're talking about, or maybe what they're reading or what they're doing online. And then take that and turn it into something. Usually a good thing to do is turn it into a business. Try to make some money off of it. They get more involved in it and things just kind of take off. You know, find what they like to do. You might have to take a day off and say, you know what, we're gonna have a curiosity quest. What we gonna be curious about, mom? You. Let's find out what you like. Because you know what? People don't ever ask kids what they like. But marketing companies do. Madison Avenue does. Oh, they have all kinds of studies where they bring in kids to find out what they like. As a matter of fact, Mattel over here, they pay kids. My kids have done like 2 or 3 studies. They pay handsomely too. And they have these studies. They give them toys. They see how they play with the toys, how they interact, what they do, all of that. And all that goes into their product development. Oh, your kids are gold mines for these companies. You got a gold mine right in front of you. Watch your kids, and you'll probably be surprised. I'm just saying. And then think about, what can we do with that? So say they're always, whatever it is that they're either playing, if they're older and they're on the computer, and you're like, I don't know, because they're always on the computer. Find out what they're doing on the computer. Be nosy, and remember, it's your house and it's your computer, so you have all rights to go on the computer and find out what they're doing on your computer. Find out what they're doing, or talk to them while you're eating food and find out. All right, say, hey, you want to make some money? All right, what you be doing on Google or Fortnite or whatever? Oh, just playing blah 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 blah. Oh, what's the latest game? Just ask, just keep asking. Always ask why, how. Keep making them answer questions to find out what they really like, and then figure out, how can we spend that? Like, would you like to do that all day, every day? Yeah. All right, then find out. Maybe it's being animation or video game design. All right, let's see if we can find some free coding classes that address that. Maybe they're into fashion. All right, let's see how we can find some patterns and stuff and set up a Shopify and an IG and start telling people about your designs. Maybe you need a sewing machine. Just find what they like, okay? So the learning's gonna come. The learning's gonna come. Trust and believe. If these people can do this in a school year, you can do it. And there's nothing amazing about them. They were just present. They loved on the students. They believed the students could do it. And to me, that was the single most important thing. They believed those children could do it. And then the children believed in them and thus believed in themselves. So I hope that helped you. Kiki, oh, it's so good to see you again. I miss seeing you. Alexa, we're gonna wrap this up. I want to end with the easy. Let's wrap it up. Anybody have any wins? Yes, that is your son, Alexa. For y'all are funny. Y'all are funny. Kiki says, she's talking to Danielle. If life would stop interrupting, I'd love to hear how you got there. Who's she talking to? Danielle? What did Danielle say? Oh, consistency. Oh, you know what, Danielle? Do you want to come on the live like next week? I'm telling y'all, our chat, we have some amazing moms, educators, dads. We have really amazing people. And we had Jessica, she came on some weeks back. So if Danielle, because you always contribute really great information, if you want to come on and talk about your story, if you want to have a testimony, please come on. So just let me know, just DM me on IG and we'll definitely set that up because I'm sure, I would like to know that. You got people who want to know, what are you doing? And listen, it ain't got to be perfect. It worked for you. You're just telling them what worked for you. I get up here and I tell you things that work for me, and 50 million people can be like, girl, that ain't realistic. This thing, all kinds of negative Nellies. I don't care because I know, because I'm being honest. I don't have to worry about someone hurting my feelings. I'm like, please, I know this works or this don't work because I tried it. I did it. Did you do it? So be quiet. So this worked for you. So you can tell your story and they can take it or leave it alone. That's all they can do, okay? But it's always good to share testimonies, okay, on what's going on with how you do things, okay? And let's see, I think I'm caught up. Let me see. Oh, no, I'm not. But that for Frodo was funny. Okay. Hey, Love Cadets. It's good to see you back. I got my oldies in here. I am at a party, but I love you and I will watch the replay. Oh, good deal. Good deal, Cadets. What kind of party you at on it is Friday. Have fun, girl. Raise an elbow for me. Okay. See, Kamika, yes, I need to do this more because some days, Lord have mercy. I know. Y'all remember, it is nothing. Remember, don't be telling people y'all's business. Okay. If you got to just say, hey, we need a mental health day or we need a Lord have mercy day, but you got to prep it. Okay. So either on your phone or on your TV, wherever you have your videos, line up 1 or 2 movies or shows, just stuff that's comforting to everybody, right? Make a lineup. Okay. Have depending on how, at least have 2 or 3 options per kid. Okay. And you make a playlist for it. So you have somewhere to go. Or have your list of books that you like to read, or maybe they like to read, or music, okay? Have a little box, perishable, because you don't have to worry about things going bad. Have a little case, a little box, whatever, of little snacks that you can eat. So you're like, y'all, let's say we start over tomorrow. Let's say we refresh and maybe make it sound cool. Let's say we, start the engines tomorrow, okay? We're going to have a mental health day or give it a cool name, whatever it's going to be, okay? We're going to have a drop, stop, drop, and roll. We're going to roll right into these YouTube videos, okay, with our snacks. And then Prime the documentary. It's a lot of good documentaries out there. We watched, I'm telling you, we watched, oh my gosh, we just watched the Shogun documentary yesterday, and it was on the History Channel International, which I can't find anymore on History Channel. And the quality was so bad. It was probably from the 80s, but it was kind of a little blur, but the kids didn't care because they were really into it. So line up your little doc stuff, find where y'all gonna sit, grab something to eat, or play some music, and y'all just chill. Grab books. Say, okay, we ain't gonna watch TV. We're gonna put on some soothing music. All y'all grab a book and 2 snacks. Go find your corner, and we're gonna read for 30 minutes, and then we're gonna come up for air and fist bump, and then see what we're gonna do after that. And then y'all break, and we go off and do whatever we're gonna do for the rest of the day. We're starting tomorrow, right after breakfast. Okay? Be consistent. Okay? Just be consistent with that. All right. All right. Crystal says they had high expectations. That's so important. Yes. Even when you have the low expectations, the real expectation is really high. So if you're giving them something that's really, really easy, it's not saying, oh, you can't do anything. It's saying, I know you're going to get up here. We're going to start here to build your confidence up. Okay. Got to build the confidence up so they can rise to the expectation. Y'all know what I meant. Yes, I missed you too. I miss all my oldies. Danielle says he does the same base schedule every day. He's in 5th grade. Saxon for math, very repetitive. Creative writing and rhetoric, phonics every day, and reading every day. Okay, so Danielle's giving you some of her blueprint, what she's using for her curriculum, what helps. And listen, he's in 5th grade, phonics every day. Marva was big on phonics. Remember, she had from kinder to 12th grade, or at least maybe 9th grade. I think she had a whole bunch of high schoolers. Not a whole bunch, but she taught the gamut. And she was still teaching phonics, because to read and chew and regurgitate all of this lofty writing, you have to have a command of phonics. So you need a really good phonics program. Now, unfortunately, the phonics program that she talks about, it was, one of the schools used to use it here. Can someone remind me? It was I forget, but they don't sell it anymore. Now she recommended one. Wait, I had in the back. Where's I think it's here. Yeah. And it's I didn't get anywhere with them, but it's come on. It is, maybe take a screenshot of this. Maybe I can get a sleuth detective to track this down. It is phonics books right here. But there is another name. There's another name, because what she had in the classroom on her movie, I recognize that because there is a school, it's a really very highbrow school district, even more highbrow than mine. And they use, it's open. It's open. I forget. Anyway, but they use that curriculum for years, and then they scrapped it. But if y'all can find it, I forget the name. I want to say it's open something. I don't know. Some of you guys might know. But anyway, a really great phonics program. Is that still showing? Hold on, let me hide that banner. Hide. Okay. Let me go back to the comments. Okay. Alexa, she says, I'm a new homeschool mom. That's a win. Welcome to the dark side. Welcome, Alexa. 1 month in. Oh, you a newbie, y'all. We got fresh meat. Yes. 1 month in, and your channel is helping me. Thank you so much. No, thank you, Alexa. That really warms my heart, because y'all, YouTube is no joke. Putting up a channel and videos and being consistent and trying to give information that you think is going to be helpful, that's something else. And then if you live stream, worrying about what you're going to say, and is this coming off right, or am I offending anyone? Am I in violation of any YouTube things? It's like 5-6 things you got to keep in mind, while you're doing this. It's not for punks. I tell you that. Not if you kind of want to do it, I want to say right, but do it in a certain kind of way. So welcome, Alexa, and just ask any questions. We're here to help you absolutely 100%. I had to learn OT because I cannot get help with certain issues. Girl, that is my story. I was pregnant with my third child in graduate school, and when my son got diagnosed, we had a special ed lawyer, and I had to keep calling him about questions I had. And each phone call was like $50 or $75. It was really expensive. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to take time out and learn the law, like special needs law. And then when we started doing our services, I had to once I started learning what OT was, I was like, oh my God, I am paying for stuff that we used to do growing up. If you look at all that OT stuff, as you see now, all the special needs stuff has matriculated into the general population, right? So all the things that you would cost hundreds and thousands of dollars now are just is everywhere. But OT, climbing trees, riding bikes, skipping, all the old school things we did growing up, that was OT. That was what I saw in those rooms. OT. We just got away from it. No one plays outside anymore. No one really moves from right to left, back and forth, up and down, circular. All of these things your body really needs to do. Take for granted. But yes, Kiki, I had to listen, child. Y'all think I'm playing. When I was like, you know what, Mama Bear, I was like, I'm about to learn everything. Everything. I got the pocket size one that I kept in my book. I mean, I kept in my purse. I was about to say pocketbook. I kept that in my purse because I would be reading that at every therapy we went because this was too heavy. So I had the pocket version. I was reading them suckers. All of this, all of these, all of this. This was my education. All of this. Because you know what? Only you can really deal with your child. You can have all the therapy. But if you don't really know what's going on, you could be taken for a fool. All of this, all of the education. Look at this. Lord, I'm making a big mess. Everything. You got to read so these suckers cannot take advantage of you. Everything. Everything. I had to get my PhD. I can keep going on. Now, this by far helped my son. I didn't know it right away. But they say your real brain is in your stomach. And I'm a testament to that because I saw leaps and bounds. My sons, the neurological strings the wires just started to unravel from the cluster. And I just saw the fog, just all of that just clearing up. All of this. I ain't playing. When you go to war, you got to know your enemy. No, I'm making a big old mess. I'm going to clean up. You have to know everything that's going on. And yes, I'm not pulling out any more books because I got a big old mess right here. Uh-oh. So, yes, Kiki, your child's having issues. They're frustrated with homeschool. You better start doing some research. You better start learning and looking and observing. Because if you keep asking 50 million people 50 million questions, you don't get 50 million answers. But when you got the information, for instance, I put up, I have my own channel, my other channel, the Messy Homesteader. And I put up something like I showed some seeds or a tree or a peach tree or something like that. And I would have so many people ask me questions about growing stuff for their region. I'm in 10B. It's sunny. It's 70 degrees almost year round. I can grow anything where I live. But I had people asking me that live in New York or Wisconsin. It's snow right now. Like, I don't know anything about your area, your land, the climate, all of that. And I was like, I'm going to have to make a video on that. If you have a Bible book, and when I say Bible, meaning a definitive source for whatever subject you want to get information about. Now, for gardeners, especially on the West Coast, it's going to be your Western. It's by Sunset. I think Sunset might cover other regions in the country. This is the Bible for gardeners. This book, I got it when it first came out, and I think it's 15 years old. I don't have to ask a lot of gardening questions. It's all right here. When should I plant? How long does this germinate? What do black spots on the leaves mean? Can I grow tropical fruit, you don't have to ask people all that stuff. If you have a source, okay? So you educate yourself, you get that source, and then you can ask more nuanced questions to people that are in a similar position. That saves you headache from always trying to get information and hitting a brick wall. So come here to us and ask questions. I'm absolutely come here and ask questions, but also do some research on your own and keep it in an organized spot. Okay, you see here, all my video ideals, like for all my videos for you guys, I keep in one spot. Okay, I have more of these, but I keep everything together because I can refer to it and I can build from it, and I can say, okay, I talked about this, or I talked about it, but I didn't really talk about it that much. Let me do a follow-up video. Everything is right there. I don't have to ask a whole bunch of YouTubers, so it makes it easier for you to find one or two sources that are your go-to sources for homeschooling. Hopefully, I might be a go-to source because I have lots of resources that can help you find other stuff. But just when you're dealing with your child, look, here's another one. Child, I just got it's so many. It's so many. Okay. So you got to put the work in. Okay. You got to be Inspector Gadget. No, he was a bumbling fool. You got to be, who's a good, Angela Lansbury from Murder She Wrote. Was she good? Perry Mason. You got to be a good, no, Boston Blackie. Richard Diamond. I like Richard Diamond. This is old school radio classics. You got to be a detective. Watch your babies. Okay. You need to know everything about those kids. And then look at yourself honestly. That's why I say keep your door closed to people and eyes, okay? And look at yourself. When you're real unorganized, you don't have your together because that's been me. I effed off since we've been homeschooling, probably like a semester to a year's worth of stuff. Things I should have done, kind of did. Then we had to backtrack, go back over it again because we stopped doing it. Y'all heard my story about uh the grammar stuff. I tried something, put it away, try some other stuff, didn't give the first thing a chance. Then I ended up going back to it. But like 4 or 5 months had passed by. My kid could have been way ahead. But I was like, let's get to it. It's just grammar. And I have other stories of other subjects where I'm like, but it's okay. Just be honest with yourself. If you know you're not going to homeschool 100%, 80%, find out what is acceptable for you to get learning done with your kid. Be honest. Is 50% enough? So, say if you homeschool Monday through Friday. Monday, a lot of people hate Monday, so maybe you're going to give 40%. Okay. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. On Wednesdays, you always try to be on the phone, make appointments, just things you need to take care of around the house, or maybe you work from home. So, Wednesdays is a busy day. So that's going to be 30% your kid's going to get from you. Tuesday, look at 60%. Okay. Thursday, rough week. Thursday is iffy. It could be 30% or 80%. That's the wild card. And then Friday, well, we made it to Friday. Either you're going to give up and not really do anything, or you're going to try to clean up from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But be honest. Those are real scenarios. You're not giving 100% of you every day. You have to decide how much of you can you give that's realistic. Okay. And how much can you accept from your child every day? Because are you doing 100% every day? Then you shouldn't be expecting your child to give you 100% every day. All right. Quid pro quo. So if you think you can do 100% or at least 80 and above, all right, son, daughter, I'm here. You can be a mediocre student. This is Margaret Collins. She's like, you can be a mediocre student, but I'm not going to be a mediocre teacher. Okay, so show up. If you need motivation, I recommend listening to David Goggins, or because he does cuss a lot, Eric the hip hop preacher. EJ, the hip hop preacher, or Motiversity. So like motivation, Motiversity, Motiversity. When I take my son to school in the mornings, I always have a playlist of Eric because he puts out daily content and Motiversity, and they put out longer form, so it's really good. Osmosis is not just for him; it's also for me because I slip up all the time. So you just get tired. Like, I'm at a point where I want to be a woman. I don't always want to be a mom. I don't always want to be a teacher. I have interest too. And, a lot of times because we're in the house a lot, for these stupid lockdowns in this state, and I go stir crazy. I mean, we can get out, but then things you have to have the Jabberwocky to get in. And I'm like, it's been a hard, 2 years, the last 2 years. So believe me, trust and believe. There are days I'm like, what y'all want to do? They're like, Mom, really? They start strategizing. They get together, like, 'cause there's only two of them now. They get together, because they know they got me. I'm like, I have given up by 8 o'clock in the morning. They know they got me. And I'm like, you know what? I know the end game, and I know they're gonna be okay. They don't have to diagram gerunds and prepositional phrases. They don't have to write uh, comparative essays with citations, evidence, and analysis. Because, quite frankly, the way this world is, I'm like, baby, let's get our entrepreneurial skills up. So by the time you're graduating from high school, you've been working, making your own money, working for yourself. You ain't got to worry about all this academic stuff. Because quite honestly, I'm at a point now where I'm like, it's a waste of time now. It's a waste of time. You know how to count your money. You know when someone's trying to take your money by, giving you some bogus stuff to where some bogus rates or whatever. Logical fallacies. So you can see when someone's trying to pull the wool over your eyes or giving you some bogus statistics. You have character skills where you can persevere. You're kind to people. You're fair. I'm like, if you had to stop schooling right now, my babies would be okay. So I'm at a point where, like, I see what my son does at his school, and I ear hustle. I watch all them people. I watch all, people he's with. I ear hustle in the stand. I always go early to pick up, and I just sit around, and other students are, around. I listen, and I'm like, homeschoolers, you ain't got nothing to be worried about. You really don't. These are the best and the brightest that have the silver spoons in their mouth. The cheapest house in my neighborhood, we live in a ghetto where the houses are just $1 million, $1.5 million. That's the ghetto. And you got these kids, beachfront homes, fly helicopters, parents fly helicopters to get to work. Yeah, real talk. And their parents just want them to be in a public school because they're like, oh, they feel like they're being whatever. And I hear these kids talk. Subject verbs don't always agree. Can't reason out of a paper bag. You got some smarties up in there. But overall, for all the kids at this school, I'm like, is this what we got? Yeah, I ain't got nothing to be worried about. You just focus on how can my child be happy? Let me find something that they really, really like. Because trust and believe, all these crazy deranged kids, especially with all the things that's been happening on. Now I'm going off on a tangent. We done with my child hates homeschooling. Help, what should I do? Those were the solutions. Let me get on my little soapbox for a little minute. All the stuff that's been going on the last 2, almost 3 years, a lot of these kids are in these deep, dark places. They just haven't rebounded from it. And it's been hard on them. These are the kids that are going off into college, same scenario, and then off into the working world. These are the students that are going to be the bosses of your kids, the co-workers of your kids. And I told y'all this a long time ago. When we were at this charter homeschool, there was this one kid. He was nice, but then he wasn't nice. He was a bully. He was real big too. And I told my oldest son, I said, hey, if let's just call him, excuse me, Big Mike. I said, hey, what would you do if Big Mike was your boss? He was like, oh, no, I wouldn't go to work. I said, but you had to go work because you got to pay for rent or mortgage. You got to put food on the table. I said, what if he was your boss? I said, do you think he would care if you wanted to take a 2-week vacation, or, if you wanted to get off work at 5 o'clock because your kid had like little league practice or something? You think he would let you do that? Oh my God, no. He's like, he wants to be, an a-hole just to be an a-hole. Like, he's the kind of person who would just be mean, just to be mean, like for no reason. And I was like, yeah. I said, you wouldn't want to work for somebody like that. I said, well, you know what? Uh, if you, Bill Cosby, if want to just be average and just get through life, you're gonna be working a job, you're gonna have a boss like that, and you're gonna have a coworker who's like him, and then you're gonna be miserable because it's gonna be no one to talk to at work. And then when you want to do things, you're gonna have a boss who don't care about you. And there you go. Now you got your shackles on. Welcome to the hamster wheel and the new economic slavery. They got you. So, I see the parents. I talk to them. I listen to them. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. They just we're told we have to have this, and we're going to get this, and you have to have that. And I'm like, my kids don't. Okay, real honest. Okay, I'm going to be real honest real quick. And then I'm going to end this because I'm at almost 2 hours. So my oldest son, who's at public school, he was kind of down for the last week and a half. And so, I was monitoring him, letting him know, hey, dude, what's up? You can talk to me as, and not mom, you know. So I got two personalities with my son, not his friend. I'm his ally. So I said, you can talk to me as an ally, and it don't wash over into mom life. Okay. I don't hold that over you as mom. This just me, ally, and you. And he was like, I can't stand some of these kids. I was like, what you mean? It's like, just how they talk, and they talk in like computer, like he said, the metaverse. He's like, they talk like they're like in this metaverse. Like, it's not even like real talking. I'm like, is it that bad? Is it just like, because he hasn't been in public school for a long time, and all of his friends were like homeschool kids. And he was like, no, it's just like they have this thing where everyone wears pajamas. I don't know if this is nationwide, but all these kids wear pajamas to school, which I actually, at first I was like, oh, that's raggedy. But then I was like, oh, that's actually good, because the girls, heaven forbid, it's like Studio 54 with these girls. So I'm like, please put flannel on, and definitely a flannel top. He's like, no, it's just like, I listen to them when I'm, in the hallways when they're walking between classes. They have 10 minutes between classes, and, standing in line, and, he just hears them, and he's like, I keep thinking to myself, oh my God. Oh my God. When he's hearing these conversations. So I'm like, so what is it that is it they're saying, or is it like their cadence or their tone? He was like, it's all of it, mom. It's just like they're like in this metaverse, and they all kind of sound alike. So he said he couldn't explain it. He was just like, it was just kind of just wearing him down, because it was like he didn't find anyone who just talked normally. So I'm still trying to unravel all of it, but he was feeling better the last 2 days because now he's on the track team. And so he's like, okay, I can tolerate it now. But he was like, man, it's just like when they talk, he's like, they just kind of get on my nerves. So there you go. And we are kind of in a certain political leaning in this area. So I think that was kind of bothering him too a little bit. I don't know. He still hasn't really told me. He's articulated that it's just talk and act like they're in this metaverse, and it doesn't seem real to him. So I don't know, but he sees that there's something different. So listen to your kids. But let me tell you, child, y'all worrying about your kids, and we didn't get through this curriculum, and we I didn't do any testing. Mm-mm. Y'all gonna be fine. Just love on your babies. Be present with them. If anything, if nothing else from all this fails, find a good book. Find a book that you really like. Okay? Even if your kids don't like to read, don't want to be read to, and read to your kids. You know what? You want to homeschool, you want to read. Oh, we'll read. Find something that you like, because you'll be into it, and read. And say, hey, while I'm reading, do something with your hands. Find something for them to do with their hands, or they can just sit there and just listen to you read. Just read. Read something you like. As a matter of fact, while you're playing, read this. Read this to your kids. Say, we both gonna learn. Now, you go get the sandwiches, and I'm gonna start the book. Do something different, okay? Think outside the box. Your baby's gonna be just fine. Just fine. I didn't lose it when one of the boys logged off of their they logged off of their online class, the Blue School. That's a win. That's a win, because your kids. Yeah, see, Kiki says that's a win, because that's a shake 'em moment right there. But you're not gonna shake 'em. Not gonna do that. Yes, Saxon math is fantastic. I know a lot of people who have success with Saxon. Would love to know more about phonics for older kids, 4th and 5th. You know what? Let me tell you, here's a program on the undercover. It's a phonics program. It's all about spelling. So wait, who was it that talked about all about spelling that they did? I forget. But all about spelling has phonics embedded into it. So it's a 2-for-1. But let me tell you a good phonics program. Well, see, it's good in the beginning, but they don't have all the sounds. But I love all about spelling, because it's hands-on. And did I do a phonics review? Because I have a whole bunch of phonics programs. I wonder if I did a phonics review. I think I did one when my middle son was in 3rd grade. He's in 7th now. I'm going to pull that up, because I have some videos on YouTube I made private. For some reason, like my audio, this is in the beginning days of homeschooling, my audio, like I had a camera. I used like my Canon, and it would make all this noise when I would move. So I have like 15, 20 videos that have that sound. Oh my God, that sounds so bad. No one's going to listen to that. So I might have to just like kind of repurpose that, or see if I can mute that or something. Let's see. We do teach Teach Your Monster to Read. It's an online game that is free, and phonics cards. Boom. Danielle just dropped a gem for you guys. Okay. So take that down. Teach Your Monster to Read. Okay. Now it's online. Okay. And the phonics cards. I think the Logic of English has phonics cards. I'm looking at one right now. It's called Teach Me Language. I got that because it's good for kids on the spectrum. There's so much. Y'all remind me. I'll probably put a poll up asking what video do you guys want me to do next, for like subjects like best grammar, well, best according to whomever, but grammar or reading or writing or logic or whatever. Yeah, I know. I'm so due for doing curriculum reviews. I know. I haven't done any, and I think almost a year. I need a community. We have a community, Kiki. But I know it's good to have one like physically. We move, and we still don't have homeschool peeps. Yeah. That's another thing. Listen, this broke. Oh, no, it's my earrings. Living somewhere where you don't have a lot of homeschool people around you, that's trying. What's also trying is living in an area where there are homeschool people and you don't gel with near one of them. Okay. That sucks. So, while you're trying to build a tribe, it's going to have to, honestly, it's probably going to have to be online for now, until you can find people around you, because for all the homeschoolers that are in this country, they're scattered out, and some of them just keep to themselves too. So now you gotta, flush them out and hope that they're sane and someone you would want to hang out with, and you know, all kinds of there could be all kinds of obstacles to finding people you just really want to hang out with. So in the meantime, it's your online friends, unfortunately. It's your online friends. But hey, if you find people who resonate with you, you take them like this. It's like you wanted a man who was tall, dark, and handsome and rich, and can work with his hands or work with his mind. And you got a 5'5" uh pencil pusher who uh can barely change a tire. But you love him and he treats you right. So we don't always get what we want. We have to make do with what we got until, something else comes along. I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean. All right. Google gave me open source phonics and open court. It was open court. Yep. Open court. That was what Martha used way back in the day. And that's what some of these school districts, especially on the Eastern Seaboard, that you have those Eastern Seaboard private schools like Eton and um, all the Saint schools. Anyway, those top echelon blue chip schools, they at one time used open court curriculum, because I went and looked before they updated. Because curiously, a lot of these really well off schools, they're really old school. So back, I think maybe 5-6 years ago, you know, their websites were so paltry, but they had like the teachers would just put their stuff up there, like everything. I was screenshotting and printing everything. So all the top 15 private schools in the country that cost like $60,000 minimum to get in, like, where Elon Musk would send his kids if he did, those kind of schools. I got all that stuff. Okay, I see some patterns here. They're real simple with their stuff. Like, those fufu restaurants, those Michelin rated restaurants where you have like two things on the plate and they're really, really tiny and microscopic, but it tastes really good. Or you have a soup and you just use fresh herbs, and it's it in addition to the soup ingredients, and it's amazing, versus something that's got like 200 ingredients. Like they say simple is really best. That's really true, because when you see these schools, watch some of these old school schools. I have that on my video, my top 10 teacher movies. Like, oh, what's the one with Robin Williams? Dead Poet Society. Oh, I'm forgetting all the movies where they're at really top looking, top expensive schools. When you look at the classroom is bare. They don't have 500 anchored charts and posters. There's nothing up there. And they don't have 50 million books. As a matter of fact, they don't even have backpacks. They carry their books to class. Meanwhile, we got 200 books, 500 subjects. We got everything but the kitchen sink, and it's dumb as rocks. Meanwhile, they got like 4 books, thick books though, 4 books, a pencil, and a couple of notebooks. Blowing everybody out the water. That was Martha. Marva was the same way. Let's see. I love you. Oh, I love you too, Kiki. I wish we were neighbors. Man, that would be my dream if we all like live within so many streets of each other. And then like someone over here, they bake bread. Someone over here, they're good at gardening. This one over here is good at starting parties or events and stuff like that. Hey, we're gonna have a scrapbook little meet, or we're gonna do a movie night. I'm gonna pull the projector out and put it on the garage. Y'all come on by if you want to, because oh, we used to do that on my street and a long time ago. And now it's kind of the tone is kind of changed, and I'm like, I don't care for my neighbors. Like, I want to get chickens. Now, back in the day, I would be like, okay, my neighbors they're cool. Because I might not make the requirements because I have someone coming to look at my property. But if one of the neighbors, now all of them would be cool except for the 2 new ones, and I'm like, dang, I would just bypass the than the telling the government and just have, my little chickadees, and then I'll just like bring some eggs over to them like every other day. Here you go for doing. Here you go. But no, people just like they're so everyone's kind of they're just scared of their own shadow, you know. And there's like no real community. There's a quick story. Let me tell you the story. I heard the story today. I'm trying to think who I heard it from. I think Kev. Uh, I think it's from Kev. I'm not sure. Anyway, it's a scientist. Bear with me. It's a scientist, and he was with these African children, and he said, "Okay, we're gonna do this experiment. I'm gonna take this box, and it's full of food, and we're gonna put it under this tree. And when I say 1, 2, 3, you guys take off, and whoever gets the box gets to keep the box and everything that's in it." So he said 1, 2, 3, and all the kids, he was talking to kids, grabbed hands, and they all ran together holding hands, and they grabbed the box, and they all shared the food in the box. And he was like, hmm, hmm, what's going on here? And he asked the kids, why did you make the decision to run hand in hand and to share the food? And they said, oh, I forget, there's a word, it's an African word for it. But it basically means you are one and one is we. I'm butchering it. It's something that's not what it says, but the meaning is one is we. So we can't separate the one from we because we're all together. So we held hands because each one makes we. And it's community. So I'm probably butchering that, but that was the gist of it. And I was like, oh my gosh, the world needs that mindset. We're so individual and so it's mine, gimme, gimme, gimme. And that does no one any good. So they ran together, they grabbed, and they shared, and everybody was happy. Everyone felt like they belonged, and everybody was taken care of. Now, I'm not trying to talk about no communism stuff, but it was just at that young of an age, they knew that it was wrong to have everything and let other people go hungry. So I don't know how I got on that, but yes, neighbors. So yeah, I want neighbors like that. I want you to have my back. Like my neighbor, one time they went on vacation. She didn't tell me. That's when I saw the cracks happening. She went on vacation. Now, she always would leave her kitchen light on, and I would see it because it was a really, really bright light. And so she always left it on. And for a whole week, that light was off. So I'm like, okay, for the first 2 or 3 days, I was like, okay, maybe the light's broken. Then by the third day, I'm like, well, let me go, because I didn't know she went on vacation. Well, let me go make sure everything is okay and they're not all in the bed. So I go knock on the door, no answer. I'm like, oh, I don't want to call the police. This is not like them. So and I had called, I left a message, I didn't hear anything. That's when I went to her house. And then she returned the phone call. Remember, they were on vacation, like a day or two later. And she's like, oh, she didn't listen to my message. She goes, oh, hey, what's going on? I was like, oh, thank God you're okay. She's like, okay, what's going on? I was like, your light's been off on your kitchen, and I wanted to make sure that you were okay and that no one broke into your house. She goes, oh yeah, we just turned it off. No, they had the timer on, but she forgot to do the timer for the kitchen thing. And so it was just off. I was like, really? In my mind, I'm like, really? You could have told a bee that you were going on vacation, because I could have watched the house, because you could have been robbed blind while you were gone. So, but you see, and it's not me being nosy. I just noticed patterns of my neighbors. So one neighbor, I noticed she wasn't putting her trash out, her trash can, because I walk the dogs and I always have to go around her trash can. I noticed it wasn't out. So eventually when I saw her, I was like, hey, I noticed you putting your trash can out. Do you need a new thing? She's like, yeah, thank you for asking. She was older. I don't know who to call, and she has an accent, she's like Eastern European. She was like, I didn't know who to call to ask to get a new trash can because the wheel is broken and she couldn't push it out. So her trash has been sitting there. But oh, I got you. I'll call. Okay, let me get your address. Yeah, your name, and I'll call with you right here in case they ask questions. No one does that anymore. I mean, sure they do, but we're getting further away from that. So I'm getting off my horse. But yeah, I want neighbors, better neighbors. Book list, please. Oh, okay, book list. Okay, Atomic Habits, James Clear, and all of these books are in the description below. They are affiliate links on Amazon, so that helps to support the channel. No cost to you. The other one, hold on, I pulled out all these. I should just show you this. I pulled out all my other books. The next set, the Marva Collins books. First one is Values, a practical guide for the family, Marva. And then Marva Collins Way. This is the first book in her series, I guess. Call that. And then my favorite one now is Ordinary Children, Extraordinary Teachers. This really gives you a lot of help. Like, okay, this is happening. This is what you do. And then I didn't really talk about it that much, but I don't think I mentioned this at all. Carol Dweck Mindset. Carol Dweck Mindset. And all of the books are linked down below. Now, the thing with the reason why I brought up mindset is, remember how I was saying, take a look at yourself. You can have all the habits in the world, but if you have a very inflexible mindset, this stuff ain't gonna work. I'm gonna do it, but it ain't gonna work. Doom, 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 doom. So you want to change your mindset. You want a growth mindset, meaning you're open to the potential that things can happen, okay? And then you start making your habits, right? Using strategies from Marva Collins. So that's my book list. So I got 4. Atomic Habits, Mindset. Take screenshots if you need to. And then 3 of Marva Collins books. If I had to choose which one, I would do this one first. I know I changed before I said this one, but if you're short in time or energy or peace of mind, this one helps teaching wise. This is going to help you in your house, okay? This will help you in your house. All right. Any other questions before we get out of here? I know my child's starving. I told him I would make him his zucchini noodles when I got off my live. Because, is it only going to be an hour, Mom? It's like, yes, baby, I'll be off in an hour. He's probably circling outside. All right. Yes, the Blue School. Yeah, as moms, man, we have to become a whole bunch of different occupation people. I mean, like, different occupations. We have to be that. I'm in zone 4. Totally different gardening. Now I need to get to your other channel for fun. Yes, check it out. Yeah, shameless plug. The Messy Homesteader. Head over there. I only have 2 videos up, and the first one is an intro. Hi, it's me. But I'm putting videos up this weekend. I'm putting them up because I'm so behind. I'm learning OT too, Kiki. Nice to know others have to do this too. Sometimes I feel alone. Okay, you know what? Maybe I need to do. Hold on. Because when I write it in here, that means that's a video I need to do. Maybe we need to do an OT video. Okay? Like, I need to be like outside, like, or in my living room. OT hacks. Okay? Because I know the therapies can be very expensive. And for the things that you can do on your own to receive the same result, you know, I rather just, I'm going to show you what we did. We had all the best therapy. And when I was looking at it, you know, insurance paid for it. But in the beginning, we had to pay out of pocket because in California, they didn't recognize autism as, they had it under like the mental health category. And so they wouldn't pay, insurance wouldn't pay for speech therapy, occupational therapy, definitely wouldn't pay for ABA therapy. So that's totally changed. But in the beginning, 10 years ago, it was a different landscape. So parents had no choice. They had to put their house, take out another mortgage on their house, borrow money from their parents or somebody, because you were paying thousands a month for therapy. That was a crazy time. And it's just shameful what our healthcare system is. But yeah, I can help you guys with OT, definitely. We did it for years. I loved it. And you can definitely do a lot on your own. Your description box link to your second channel is broken. Thank you for telling me. Oh, I'm gonna fix that. I'm gonna fix that immediately when I get off the live. But it's the Messy Homesteader. It's the Messy Homesteader. Let me put that back up. How did my link get broken? See, y'all, I'm messy already. I was messy with putting that link up. Okay, let's see. I think I'm caught up. Wait, no, I'm not. All right, last comment. Yes, me too, hugs. Okay, well, that's our last comment. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. What I need to do, I need to make some pre-recorded videos for this because people are not gonna watch a 2-hour long video. So I'll probably make a pre-recorded video and I'll just get straight to the point, just boom, 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 all the solutions, and then you guys can just go about your day. But sometimes some of you guys have told me you like the long videos because you can do things and listen kind of like a podcast. Oh, you know, maybe I should turn these long videos into a podcast. I don't know. I'll see. I always say things and then I don't follow through because I'm not utilizing my atomic habits. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you if you've been with me that long. If you've been with me that long, put the word Marva in the comments. Only why I'm on live. I'm gonna send y'all something. Like I'm gonna make a freebie just for my diehards. If you're in the live right now, I'm not gonna take it in the comment section. Only in the live. I'm gonna look at the names in the live, and then I'll reach out to you. I'll put something in the community post, and then it'll match your description, you know, in the live. And then I'm gonna send you guys something. I don't know what it's gonna be, but something nice for hanging with me this long. So right now, I'm giving you time. Put Marva in the chat so I know who's here. I'm gonna give y'all, where's my timer? Oh, I guess my phone will do. I'm gonna give y'all 30 seconds to type in Marva, and then we're gonna end this. See my mamage? End it with something easy and fun. All right, here's my timer. What'd I say, 30 seconds? Oh, this is only a minute. Well, I'll do stopwatch. All right. Y'all on the clock. I should see a whole bunch of Marvas. There we go. Keep it going. Yay! All right, I'm gonna read these last couple of comments while the timer's going. You would love being her. Hey, Kay, I got your text. I didn't read the whole law. I was hoping you would give me a synopsis, but I'll give you a call after the live and after I fix my broken link. All right, C3A says, I've been watching Homeschool Moms for the last year and a half, and you're the first to put it in such clear terms. Be present and be honest in what percent you're in. Ugh, I guess I can't read. And be present and be honest in what percent you're outputting. Gives me a focus point. 3AK, thank you for saying that. That is all I want you guys to come across with. You can do this. Just takes a little self-reflection and honesty. Okay, own up to that. And it's like, no, I'm not gonna go off on a tangent. And then things will fall into place. Okay, once you take care of that inner stuff real quickly, it doesn't take a long time if you're being honest. And then you start on, man, this is what we need to do. You know, find something to see if you can find this. See if you can go on YouTube and see if somebody's reading this for free if you don't want to pay for it. You know, sometimes that's the only way you can kind of like get through a book is an audiobook. Always check YouTube first and see if some good soul is reading this, you know, in a voice that's not annoying. Oh, it's 1:42. So I'm gonna finish reading this and then I'll cut it off. You guys should have put your Marva in by now. Homeschool knockouts. I just emailed you from IG. Oh, thank you, Kiki. Thank you. See, Crystal says, we are doing all about spelling for that age. We love all about spelling. I loved it. Then I broke up with it. Then I came back and I really fell in love with it. I guess I liked it just the first time. Now I love it. Let's see. Oops, hold on. Karen says, LA County Public Schools use open court for years. They still use SRA. Oh, do they? Yeah, so open court changed. I think they changed from what Marva was kind of using. From my understanding, I read this really archaic forum. It changed in the the mid 80s. And then what the schools were using over here, I think it was like on this third iteration. So, every new version is always watered down, watered down. But yeah, but open court, it was what she used for at some point in time, or it might have been what she was when she was starting to teach, like her workshops, her training, her teacher training. Um, it was that, or it was in her mix somehow. But when I looked at it, I was, oh my gosh, this is what I saw in her classroom, like all the phonics letters, uh, all the phonics posters she had on the wall. That was from open court. Okay. Hey, coffee and creams. Good to see you. Website seems fickle. Oh, which website, Kamika? Website seems fickle? Did I give you guys a website? I'm not sure what website you're talking about, Kamika. Let me know. All right. Someone put Marva 3 times. I know that's real. All right. DIY says, really enjoyed this and thanks. You're welcome, guys. You're so welcome. Love the lives. Thank you, Blue School. You guys contribute. That's how I'm able to stay on for a long time, because I get feedback from you guys and it just goes back and forth. I really want you guys to come on. I can have up to 10 people on here. I can name 10 people right now that need to be up here with me. I get tired of talking. I just want to sit back and just listen to y'all talk. Steph says, I love your long chats. Thank you. Because I was like, oh, people have such short attention spans. They're like, Nikki, I just need the information so I can go on with life. So I appreciate that. I really do. Okay. I hope you keep this long video up. Oh, Malibu, I keep all the videos up, so I won't be taking this down. I missed the beginning and want to go back and watch it. Yeah, I keep all the lives up, baby. So take your time. It will be here. All right. So Kamika wasn't. Oh, Marva, the website. Did I show you a website for Marva? Was that the phonics one? Because remember, that book came out in the 80s. So good luck. If that's what you're talking about. Oh, wait, you're saying Marva for the for the gift. All right. So anyway, I need to go and unblock Muna. I need to go fix that Messy Homesteader broken link. And then Karen, I need to give you a call when I get off this live. I love you guys. I love you guys. I really appreciate you. Listen, help me out. Put a like on the video, because that helps YouTube keep my video. Well, it helps to push my video out and keep me from being shadow banned. I'm gonna have to tell y'all one day why I'm shadow banned. I am shadow banned. I got videos, a couple videos that have 10, 15,000 views. And right after that, I pushed something that I liked as something that YouTube sent. And ever since then, it's been slow boat to China with growing my channel. But that's okay, because one monkey don't stop no show. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you so much for giving me your time. Y'all have a great weekend. It is Super Bowl weekend. I'm staying in the house because it's all kinds of shenanigans and tramps and everybody out here in these streets in LA. So I will be in my house gardening and oh, listen, and I will be doing the video on vinegar, my apple cider vinegar update, and my canning of butter. Why are you canning butter? Come to the live. You'll find out why. Peace. And put a like on the channel. Put a like.